Yeah.
Everybody out there, I want to know who wants to go fast?
Let's go 120.
Righto, welcome back to the High Speed Garage. Thanks to Contrast Printing and Rivers and Radiators for keeping this garage open. How's it going, boys?
Do you want to start that again?
No,
Nailed it.
it was a big weekend, all right.
We may or may not have fucking redone that. What'd you get up to, Hayden?
Farted around mostly. I had some good plans, but unfortunately the girls come back sick from school. So all the plans went out the window. I had some cool fireworks to come down to bloody spend some time at Dargle, and I didn't end up getting in shit for letting fireworks off at Dargle. Ended up heading, went down to Dargle, dropped some shit off to you boys, and had a couple of beers and headed off for dinner elsewhere.
Did you come?
Yeah, I was there for probably, what was it, Joel? 3 hours, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Fuck, where was I?
I don't know.
Well, he seen me crash the buggy.
Yeah, I turned up. I was just about to say that. I turned up, and there's Joel recovering from smashing the buggy
That must
into
have been
the
when I
post.
took the buggy over the other side.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, anyway.
Oh, you were on the other side of the river at the time.
We'll get into Dargle a bit later.
Very funny. And then, it's just spent a heap of time in the shed, gave it a bit of a tidy up, worked on the engine again, and...
So it's ready to fire now.
Well, I ain't going to fire with no fuel system. I dropped all the fuel system off this afternoon, get that all flowed and set up. Everything I thought was going to be done is getting done completely different, so it's good having another fresh set of eyes on the fuel system, and we'll see how this one goes.
What's different about it?
So Fabietti was going to be doing it, but he's because he sent a whole heap of stuff up to Winter Nationals for the race meeting on the weekend. He's left his truck up there, and he's going to do another race meeting before he brings it home. So he said he won't have his stuff down here for another 6 weeks. So,
Yeah, right.
So I was actually pretty happy with what I did. I ended up going and having a chat to the boys at BG's and BG Engines in North Richmond, and I said, "Are you guys interested in jumping on, and we'll make something happen here?" And I told him what was going on, and he was pretty happy with that. And everything that we'd been doing, and he's like, "Oh no, I've found him race boats. We only need to do this." And he's got some pretty good runs on the board.
Yeah.
We had a good relationship with BG's with the Gen 3 boat, and I'm hoping that we have just as good relationship now with the blown engine.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Pretty
cool.
exciting.
Good bit of progress.
Yeah, it does take progress. It takes effort and motivation, and as I've said a few times, there hasn't been much motivation on it. So it's good to feel excited about it.
Get into it.
Yeah,
We need to get into something.
I need to do something about
We
it.
all need to.
Yeah.
It's
There's
good.
Well, there's one race meeting left until Dargle in the next 3
Yeah.
months. There's literally nothing happening apart from club days.
I need the river to come a little bit good, so I'm ready to go.
No.
Hopefully this weekend, maybe.
What about St George? St George is in July.
Yeah, that's what it's in July.
Yeah, and then Dargle's
Dargle,
August. Yeah.
it's the last day of the year.
Wouldn't it be good? I'd be pretty happy if I ended up getting the thing going and taking it to St George. I'd be pretty happy about that because obviously I'm not going to make it to Laidley. I'd love to, but yeah, just
15 days away.
yeah, that's right. It's just not enough turnaround for me. Yeah, I know we've had heaps of time to get here, but it's also been a struggle for me to get the thing worked on.
Mm.
So hopefully, yeah, that'd be cool. Hopefully we can pull my finger out of my ass and go racing at St George.
Yeah, I'd be keen to race there, but I don't think I will get there. I'll probably still be in testing mode, but we'll see. We'll see. Depends when the river cleans up a bit. Hopefully it'll be all right this weekend. Go on.
I did look at the river on the weekend, but It's hard to tell anyway, stand on the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Beaver Dam's still underneath the Windsor ramp. Windsor
Oh, is
Bridge.
it?
Yeah.
That'll be
it's
stopping
shit.
a lot of shit.
It looks crap though. Like they need to fix it up. They need to clean up that shit. The council does, or the RMS or Waterways or whatever it is, it cleans the river. Like they've
No one.
clearly done stuff all. Yeah, that's
No
you
one
just said.
cleans
No one
nothing.
does.
Yeah.
Why aren't they? Like
I'll guarantee you they don't clean
Don't
that up
care.
either. They'll just go break it up and let it flow out.
Yeah, they won't do
joke.
nothing with it.
what a joke. Oh, well, that's my weekend.
Yeah, I didn't do too much other than go to Dargle, but we'll give you. Well, I don't want to talk too much about that because there's some good, funny shit that happened, and we'll talk about that when we get to it. Other than that, I went to the footy Monday night, watched the Bulldogs versus the Eels. The missus is an Eels fan, so I was stoked that they got flogged.
They were half close, half time.
Yeah, that's because the ref's a fucking knob. It was like one of the worst ref games I've seen in my life. And the Bulldogs end up winning by fucking 30 points or something. But yeah, the reffing was so fucking terrible. Mitch Moses is a grub. Tries to get extra meters on play the balls and fucking whatever else.
They all do it. They're all the same.
He should get an Oscar for his acting. I don't even know why it was a send-off. So Kiko got sent off for just touching Moses' leg.
That's
Well,
assault.
after he kicked it. So I could run with it's a penalty because you just shouldn't touch him. Like it was fuck all. Moses basically threw himself to the ground to make it look bad. But I would have copped a penalty for him touching him. But a send-off is only really if it's a professional foul. And the professional foul's in the act of scoring a try. And they were never ever going to score a try. They weren't even fucking close. They kicked the ball and the ref let it play advantage. And I was like, well, how much advantage do you have to give before you don't go back again? So he kicked the ball and then the play still went for another, 10 seconds or so, 15 seconds. Like he kicked the ball, got nailed. Well, he didn't really get nailed. He got fucking touched and just acted like he got nailed. And then they caught the ball. They passed it along the line again and then passed it back a couple. And then I can't really remember, but they dropped it or something. And they went, oh, yeah, it's a fucking penalty back there fucking 10 minutes ago because he touched his leg. And I was like, what the fuck?
Didn't they do that?
And
No
it
game
wasn't
through
only
the
just a
weekend?
penalty. It was he sin-binned him.
What else were we watching over the weekend that did something stupid like that? Brought the game all the way back to...
No, I don't know. We watched a couple of games. We watched was it the Raiders game maybe?
Bunnies?
Yeah.
Can't remember what game it was now. But they played on for like one or two tackles nearly. And then they brought the Panthers game?
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember now.
Yeah, it's just annoying. And oh man, the stoppages and stuff he had going on in the game, it was pissing everybody off.
Yeah, right.
I could hear this one bloke near where I was sitting. I don't know who it was or whatever. I could just hear him in the crowd going, every time he'd blow his whistle and say, oh, you got to move over there, you're off the mark or whatever, he'd just yell out, best referee in the game. Every time, and it was fucking funny. Everyone around us was laughing.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Lots of people left early though.
Oh, cold night. They're winning by a million miles.
Yeah, but even like Bulldogs people
Oh,
were
really?
still leaving. I was like, what's the point of leaving early? Like the good thing is about that stadium is the exit system works really well. Like to get
In a home bush.
people, to
Yeah,
get people out of the stadium, works great. I mean, the car park might be a different story, but there's that many people that catch trains.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't even bother. You just you just go to the next train station. Wouldn't
Yeah.
you?
If you live close enough to walk, you'd walk.
Yeah.
If you live just far enough away that you'd prefer to drive to the stadium, just drive to the next closest train station.
What time the game?
The train's included in your ticket and that anyway. So
4 o'clock game.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's early enough. You finish by 6:30.
yeah,
Yeah. So you're not rushing out to go to bed.
yeah. No, well you hang around there. Like we
Yeah.
did because when we got out, we walked sort of over to the train station because Alira needed to go to the toilet. So we walked over there for Mel to go, and we thought, oh, we'll just get on the train if we're going this way. But there was a bit of a line-up to get on the train because it wasn't. So when we went for the Good Friday game, there was shitloads of trains travelling because
Yeah,
there
'cause
was
of the
Easter
Easter
show
show.
as well.
Yeah.
But this time there wasn't, so there was a bit of a line-up. And I said, "Oh, bugger, stand this line up. We'll just go down to all there's the joints littered with food vans because Katy
Yeah.
Perry was on the same night.
Yeah.
So we just went over and got some dessert and shit at the food vans, and by the time we had that and walked back up to the train station, it was clear enough to get on, and fucking away you go. So yeah, I don't know why people would park in the car park, but anyway. Yeah, and leaving early. Like you exit the stadium fucking super quick.
Yeah, I suppose freezing. It's cold, but
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it was cold. It was definitely cold, but it wasn't. There wasn't any wind around the stadium.
yeah, right.
It rained on us sort of on the way in. So when we walked from the station to the stadium, it rained a little bit. Not much. Like it just enough to sort of wet you a little bit. And I wouldn't say we were cold.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Anyway, some people might feel it more than me. But yeah, that was my weekend. Apart from Dargle.
Yeah. We had Tracy message us in too about Jimmy Johnson, the NASCAR driver. He's going to drive the Blue Blaster in August in Seattle.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
That's the Atlas Van Lines Hydro from
Yeah.
back in 1977.
That's pretty sweet.
I reckon it's going to be pretty bloody cool to see. I'm pretty keen to see it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. He watched it run as a 4-year-old.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet, eh?
Yeah. Don't know who remembers that, but yeah, good on him.
Pretty mad someone of that caliber knows about boat racing.
Yeah.
And hydroplanes and stuff.
And
And
it gets it on the map a little bit more than it is.
Yeah.
Even though it's sort of a big thing over there, but it's gets a bit of recognition for worldwide.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if Speed Cafe would give a shit about it, but as soon as they start talking about it, it sort of gets through the Sydney, the
Yeah, it's
Australian
Australian,
market. So hopefully, AVL over there at Speed Cafe fucking actually has a look past a couple of cars and has a look at some car racers driving a bloody hydro.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be good to see because like that's a pretty slick boat. It's pretty well known. The Atlas
Yeah.
Van Lines things. Huge boats as well.
Yeah, yeah. Bit like our Aussie connection over here.
Yep. I think it's even better than Connection. Even
Yeah,
bigger.
yeah.
Bigger,
Right.
not better. Completely wrong word.
I'm a bit of a Jimmy Johnson fan too. I've got one of his T-shirts. Actually, I got a couple, I think.
You'll have to break that out.
I
Watching
bought one when I was over there, and then when Dad was over there a couple of years ago, he bought me another one.
So I had a look into this after Tracy had text the page. On the 1st of August, he'll be jumping in. They've actually taken it out of the Hydro Museum to make it happen.
Yeah, right. How long's it been sitting in the museum for? Do we know?
Oh, a fair while, as far as I know. I don't think it's hit the water for a while.
I wonder, like, how much work needs to be done to it to bring it back up to like some kind of standard.
Hopefully they just change the oil and fire it up and send it. I reckon there'd be nothing like that.
Send it to war.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, and I'm keen to see it happen.
Yeah, I'm keen.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get into your supercars then. You watch them. We watched a little bit in between the...
Yeah, I wasn't watching too much. I was too busy cooking me food and
Watched
shit.
a little bit of the quali Saturday through the middle of the day.
Yeah, Collie was all right. They run a back-to-back session, so they'll qualify for the first race and the second race of the day just after each other. And Chaz Mostert put it on pole. His teammate Ryan Wood was right next to him. Brody Kostecki was in third and Brock Feeney was in fourth. That was in the first session. But in the second session, like quick turnaround, Ryan Wood chucked it on pole, so that was his first pole of the year. Cam Waters beside him, Brock Feeney and Matty Payne were in the second row. But then it was fairly chaotic. So the first race, Ryan Wood got past Chaz and he ended up putting it on for the first win of Ryan Wood's season. Will Brown was
They broke
chasing him down to the end.
Did I read today that Walkinshaw had like a dry spell of something ridiculous amount of time?
I think they have had a bit of a struggle over at Perth, but I can't remember with wins. I think Chaz has always been pretty fast over there, and
Ryan
Ryan was.
something like 2,000 days or something stupid like that.
I don't know. Ryan Wood was bloody struggling over there too last year. Like they were fast, but they were sort of
Yeah.
incidents. Will Brown was chasing him down for the second, and Chaz Mostert was running around in third. So it was pretty good to see Will Brown get a win. But in the second race, as I said, Ryan Wood got pole, but he got a pretty shit start from pole, and he ended up dropping back to third, fought his way back up. I think it was about lap 19. He got past Cam Waters. Unfortunately, just a couple of laps after that, I think it was about 3 laps, coming into, if you guys watch a bit of Perth, how they've got what they call the bowl. So turn 6 as they come right down a hill and a big sweeping right-hander, then come back up the hill, heading down to the last corner onto pit straight. As he's come out of turn 6, he's the wishbone in the left rear of the car. It's actually snapped at just past the weld on the for the tie rod end, and ripped it out, and the whole the arse end's just obviously
She's loose.
turned the arse straight into the water, into the sand. He was pretty pissed off about that, but it wasn't really an incident between him and someone else. It was just a mechanical issue. Feeney ended up getting the win in that in front of Will Brown. Chaz Mostert ran out the into the podium, so Chaz had a pretty good day. Like realistically, twice on the podium. I think that's pretty good. And then we got qualifying on the Sunday. So they had the first session of qualifying, and then they had the top 10 shootout later on the day. Feeney, Reynolds, Payne, and Brown. That was top 4. It was pretty cool to see Bryce Fullwood. He come in 5th, so he was top 5 in qualifying. I reckon that's pretty cool. Top 10 shootout though, that saw Feeney on pole, Cam Waters, Will Brown, Matty Payne. That rounded up the podium for the top 10 shootout. But then in the race, Feeney ended up getting the win. I don't really care about that. Feeney's just running away at the moment. Matty Payne came in second with James Courtney. He had a pretty emotional finish in third. The reason Courtney made a pretty good gain. They were banking from the start of the race. They were banking on a safety car. I think.
How do you bank on from the start of the race for safety?
Well, they've been pretty shit. Not a shit team, but they've been sort of locking out the back of the field and shit like that. So when they spoke to the media on Sunday afternoon in the cool down lap, they just sort of said, "Look, there hasn't been a safety car here for ages. We're nowhere. So let's run you along." So he ran fairly long into the stint. And then they were pretty lucky. They pulled the safety car, and so he ended up jumping up. He was I think he come out in 4th or 5th, and then knocked a couple out and gone onto the podium.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the reason for the safety car, it was a run-in between Ryan Wood and Jimmy Golding. DJ Jimmy. He's actually he gets behind the decks a bit. He was in Townsville. He did a show after a race meeting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, got up on the decks. They were running too wide out of turn 4. That was pretty late in the race. James Golding and Ryan Wood, they locked wheels, and those things when they lock wheels, they're real violent. It's ripped the steering wheel, broken the steering out of James Golding's hand, and smashed.
Ripped the wheel out, like spun the wheel out of his hand.
Well, it's torn. I think it broke one of the tie rods.
Yeah,
and then it's just obviously when you're going through a corner and one tie rod breaks, the other one just rips the other way.
Oh yeah, because
it's not sort of travelling straight. So it's just fucking fired them both off into the grass, and then all through the sand trap. There's pretty good swear words coming out of the in cabin microphone. when I was watching that.
Was that broadcast live?
Yeah, fucking oath it was. It was awesome. But
What it should be.
I reckon it's good. I love hearing swearing. A lot of people don't, but
Turn it off then.
yeah. Well, they don't normally have it, but it's awesome when you see them blowing the.
It's a
Sounds
natural,
raw-
it's a
raw
natural
emotion of it.
reaction. Yeah.
It's exactly right. That's how they feel. You know that's
You
how
don't.
they feel.
I'd much rather see that, and offend a couple of people because they said a naughty word, than get something that's fabricated just because they've got to say something.
Yeah. You can say if you didn't see that, then you go, oh, well, he doesn't really give a shit, does he?
Yeah.
That's how I see it. But talking about swear words in the cabin, Paul in the Super Utes, the
Oh yeah, the
four-door
Jap things, the Mitsubishis,
Rangers and Tritons and D-Maxes and shit like that. Paul Morris and Rossi Johnson. Rossi Johnson's from up at Darwin, so he's going to be racing up there again in a couple of weeks. They came together in race 3. Rossi got pushed hard into the outside concrete wall and fucked the car. It was pretty hurt.
Yeah.
And it was a good race. Paul Morris come into the corner. Rossi was leading. He wasn't leading the race, but he was leading Paul Morris, and Paul Morris just did a racing move and ducked up the inside. And I think they just locked wheels or something like that, and he's just pushed him out. And I think he must have broken a steering rod on that one too. Shoved him into the wall, and the TV ended up sending it into the cabin as well. Showed live images in the cabin. He was going off. Good swear words, not tame ones, really good ones.
Brilliant.
And
Can we get it on a replay? I want to watch that.
I think it's just good to see the raw emotion.
Yeah,
like
100%.
It was good swear words. I'll see if I can find the video and I'll try and post it as a short or something like that.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good to watch. There was a lot of hard racing over there in Perth, and a lot of good stacks. It sucked to see Ryan Wood go from getting a pole and a race win on the Saturday to binning it in the last 2 races, the Saturday afternoon binned it, and on the Sunday binning it as well. He was quick, man. Ryan Wood's gonna be someone to race in the next couple of years, so he's
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's good.
it's really good to see. Obviously, Chaz Mostert's not at the end of his career either, so the both of them fighting it out.
Yeah.
I hope these Supras aren't a shitbox. I can't see them being a shitbox. There's a fair bit of coin and some smart cookies working on them.
They're obviously they're going to have to modify bodies and stuff to fit on.
Yeah,
them,
it's still the same.
them
Everything.
chassis.
It's just an engine.
But
It's an engine and a body. The body different. Yeah, the body is different.
Body is different.
The body's different, but it's got to be stretched or shrunk or
That's right,
widened
yeah.
or done whatever.
It's gotta
Because
be modified to
if you
suit.
look at the Supras, like the road Supras, I seen one today. Fuck, they're tiny. They're narrow.
Really?
Very narrow car.
Okay, so the story I heard about with these the new Supra that's coming out in supercars, it's going to be based on they had a very early mock-up of the Supra, and Toyota sort of built it, and then when they started looking into the setting up for the Gen 3 supercar chassis, they actually worked out that all their design was already set up in their initial mock-up. So they had sort of a basic startup shaping.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
right.
So that probably put them pretty far ahead where they should have been.
Yeah, so the car's I wouldn't call the full total car like a narrow car. Like the wheels and everything are probably all in a similar spot as in the width, but where it becomes narrow is the wheels are all sort of tucked in under, I wouldn't call them flares, but they're really wide guards, but it's the cab that's really tiny, especially when you get to the back of the car. The back of the car, the boot lid's really skinny, the back window's really skinny. It's kind of I don't know how you'd explain it.
It's very BMW. What do they call it? Z Roadster.
It's almost like a single seater car.
Oh, yeah.
It's a small little cabin sort of in the center. Obviously, it's not a single seater car, but
Yeah.
Yeah, the cabin part is a lot smaller and narrower than the actual wheel width.
Body wise.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Riverstone Radiators and Fabrication in Walker Street, South Windsor, specialising in automotive plant and transport cooling solutions. They can repair copper, brass and alloy radiators and intercoolers. Contact the office on 02 9627 4657. Local pickup and delivery service available to trade customers. Well, it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing because obviously the cabin's got to be a fairly wide thing to suit the Camaro and the Mustang, which they're pretty wide. Like they look pretty wide at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look wide, but they're all exactly the same chassis, so they're all just
That's right.
moulded around that chassis.
Yeah, they've got a shape. They've got a set to that. And I heard this week that 888 are trying to do a dark horse car for next year. So that means that they can, instead of just running on the standard Mustang that they're running on at the moment, they call it the Mustang GT. The dark horse is a different setup, like different front and rear bars and skirts and stuff like that. So they can actually, if they call it the dark horse model, then they can re-homologate it. So that means that when the Super gets re-tunnel tested, the Mustang can get re-tunnel tested, and it'll only be the Camaro that falls behind because Team 18,
fucking stupid.
Team 18's not going to be fucking doing anything. Well, nothing of use at least as the Chev homologation team. So you'll have 888 and Walkinshaw both building a replacement for the current Gen 3 car, which means what we expect, the Supra and the Mustang, it's going to be competitive next year, and the Camaro is going to fall behind because realistically the teams that are running Camaros are sort of also run teams this year. They're not going to have a big stack.
Well, they'll do. They've all got the same. If they all change, the Camaro will just go straight and get changed as well. Straight into the same aero, straight and everything.
Well, no, the
Because they
aero
can't
is
not.
different. Well, that's just what's going to happen unless Team 18 can pull their
Of course
finger out of
they
the
will.
arse. 888's not going to do it because they're
'cause they're
homologating
doing
the
it next year.
Mustang. 888's homologating the Ford Mustang.
Yeah.
So,
It's silly to let them do it.
It all seems.
well, it's just what's going to
painful, really.
happen. Like, that sort of money's getting to get thrown around. That's what's going to happen.
No, it's supercars letting them do it.
Yeah. And then
Well,
when
it's not that supercars are letting them do it. They've got the Supra's got to go. So then 888's going to say, okay, well, we're doing this.
No, Supra's just got to match what they've got.
Well,
That
if that happens,
what's Red Bull's looking at it, going, new car coming in, we're going to go ass kicked like we did when the Mustang come in.
that's right.
We're going to cheat again.
Well, cheat or match.
Yeah,
Like they've
you shouldn't have to. That
when it's going in
pisses
the
me
fucking
right off.
shit.
when it's going in the
Having
tunnel.
a match.
That's why people stopping it, watching it, because it's just becoming ridiculous.
It was so much better. Back in the BA, BF, FG sort of era.
Yeah, when
I
you
reckon
had
it
a
was pretty
Ford and you
close.
had a
Yeah,
fucking
proper
hold.
car.
Yeah, that's right.
You just dealt with what you could with that body.
And
And
I
if you-
reckon it was closer racing.
And if
Yeah,
one
the times are closer now, but the racing is shit now compared to what it was with the BA, BF, FG,
yeah, if you
VE, VF range.
if you had like the Commodore, and it was quicker than the Hold and quicker than the Falcon, and you ran the Falcon, you just had the wrong car.
That's how it was.
Yeah. Well, why should they have to be brought back down to fucking your level?
Well, no, they're trying to catch up to the Supra.
Well, they don't even know what the Supra's going to do yet.
That's right. But if they do they don't want to be the ones to find out when it's bad timing. It's
They're
only
just
it's
fucking-
only going to be the Camaro might get a revamp, but Chev's doing fuck all compared to what Ford and Toyota are doing.
Red Bull's got too many fingers in the pie inside supercars.
Well, inside a lot of motorsport.
Well, that too, but
They can
that's not
have-
helping them.
They can
F1.
put their finger in my pie if they want. I'll let them.
You'll take a finger in the pie if it gets you
I'll
some
open
Red
it
Bull
up.
money. Yeah, so that was my Perth rundown.
Yeah,
Nice. I watched a bit of MotoGP. I didn't get to watch too much. The long weekends kind of fucked me around a little bit, and I was
The
Just-
blur
I was-
turns into a blur, doesn't it?
just having shitloads of fun every day, so I wasn't watching anything. But I just happened to go to bed at the right time on Sunday night, and as I went up to the house from Dargle, I walked inside and the MotoGP, they just finished their
Formation lap.
sighting lap, and I was like, oh, I'll sit down and watch
Good timing.
this. So I watched the race before I had a shower and went to bed. But yeah, Marquez, he won the race again. He's pretty fucking.
He's pretty good.
He sort of either wins it or falls off. There's no in betweens. Oh, and this was I read something today. It was the first time in over a decade that the same guys led the whole weekend.
Yeah, right.
Like every practice session, every warm up, every qualifying session, the sprint race, the GP, won the whole lot of them.
A session domination.
Yeah, and the bloke that did it like a decade ago was Marc Marquez on the Honda. Yeah. So that shows how much talent the bloke's got.
Yeah, 10 years on, he's still at the top of his game.
Yeah.
But his brother come in second, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, pretty easy second.
So
I mean,
there
there wasn't
was push his brother off a couple of times, and he'd go all right.
there wasn't massive gaps between them, but it was sort of just the others just couldn't sort of catch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't seen the Moto2 race, but the people that have been telling me that it was like one of the best races they've ever seen.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty close.
And the finish, there was like, they reckon it was like the tyre tread difference.
Shit,
Like
that's
it was,
close.
It was that close, yeah.
So just two tyres right next to each other.
Yeah.
That's good.
They're doing some testing. They were doing some testing after that round, like some mid-season testing. And the guy that's leading the Moto2 championship, he got a little squirt on a
Little
GP
reward.
bike. So
They test the Yamaha.
I'm not sure. Like I still haven't watched any of that yet. I still haven't watched the sprint race. I watched the GP only because I was still up, but I haven't watched the sprint race. I've just been busy and shit. But yeah, I'll probably watch the testing during the week after all that as well.
So have they
But I
got
think the
have they got
Yamaha
real
engine-
controlled testing. Like the Yamaha team can't just go and
We
send their bike out.
Main motorsport. Yeah.
I think they can pretty much do whatever the hell they want, but there's only a certain amount of things they can use. Like they can't just adopt something new mid-season.
Okay.
But the end of season testing is pretty good too. I've watched that a few times. Like as soon as they finish at the last round, the next day, people swap whoever's swapping teams or whatever for next year. If they're jumping off a Honda onto a Yamaha or whatever, they race on the Yamaha that weekend, and then on the fucking Monday they jump straight onto the Honda and then they go testing it.
Yeah, well, I think that'd be the best way to do it, especially for the new team, because they've got back-to-back information.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish my Honda did this.
Yeah.
I wish my bike did that.
Yeah.
And they can just sort of go, okay, well, how do we make that happen?
Yeah. Yeah, it would be pretty good. And they got the guy that they got the little call up to have a little test on the GP bike. He's obviously not used to having like the wings and stuff on the back of the bike.
Yep.
And I think when he got off, he's kicked one of the wings and snapped her off.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Hope you
Anyway.
didn't have to pay for that.
Nah. No, that's all the MotoGP I watched.
No.
But it was exciting. It was exciting watching Mark dominate again.
It's always good when you get to watch with a crew of other people as well.
I watched it
No,
on
it's
my
on
own.
his own.
Everyone else went to bed.
Who already
Oh,
said
shit, I
by
thought you
then.
were saying that that like Tracy or Chris was up
No,
watching.
the TV was just on when I went to the house. And I was like, oh, that's sick. It's on the right channel and everything. So I sat there and watched it. My daughter sat there and watched it with me for 5 minutes before
Yeah, she was ready
her mum yelled at her and said, you go to bed.
Yeah. Right. Oh, we'll do a bit of a rundown on Dargle, eh?
Oh, yeah? Right.
A few bit of the shenanigans that went on there.
The no racing event.
We did some racing.
It was good. I come down the hill when I come down to see you boys. I come down the hill and there's a whole heap of radio-controlled cars racing on that front paddock as well.
Yeah, I've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
them.
Straight away, it's like it's a good weekend.
Yeah, they were on those things like all day, every day. They were pretty cool.
Well, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That's a mad paddock. That's usually booked out with like campers and
tents
stuff.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah, there was no campers there.
There's still a decent amount of people down there, but
yeah,
it
it was a
looked like
fair
a pretty
few.
good crowd.
yeah,
They opened the barn up on Saturday night and had the band and the couple of fires going, and yeah, that was pretty good. There's a fair few people around there, right?
yeah. That was sort of
Considering there
Sort
was
of half
there was
full.
nothing on.
Yeah, they had a couple of decent bloody
Yeah.
food vans and
Yeah.
dessert
Yeah.
vans and shit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, everyone still got around it. Bar was open, and yeah, it did run out, but
Good alcohol prices down there, though, man. Like
always
it's
they
like
do
you
it.
go to a
They
pub,
do it the right way.
you go to a pub and you're like $10 a drink. You go down there, it's half price.
yeah.
Well, it's they
And
So
then
many people-
hopefully they're still making money, but like it means that you're actually going to drink more and you're going to.
Yeah,
they do it the right way.
Big
So it's
time.
$5 a beer and $10 a spirit.
yeah.
It's cash. It's just
Easy.
notes
And
everywhere.
Yep.
at that price, they're
No change.
they're
Just
kind of
notes.
they're basically doubling their money. Like some beers and stuff, they're probably not quite getting there, and some they're making a little bit
Yeah.
more than double, so it evens itself out. But it's just so simple.
No coins. No
Yeah, no
nothing.
coins. Yeah, straight notes. Easy for the bar staff to calculate and whatever
Well, it sends
else.
people. It sends the line through faster as well.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing is too, like if they had, like the weekend they just had, it's probably a bit different on a race weekend because people got their cars full of all their race gear and they want to go up there. But a weekend like they just had, we obviously all took out all our own beer and stuff as well because half the weekend we're just standing around caravans just drinking piss all weekend. But when they open the bar,
You're still going to go up.
we go up there and buy it because it's still cheap.
Yeah.
Like if they wanted to charge like, $8.50 for a can of beer and $14 for a
Yeah, a lot of people are
spirit.
just going to stay at their van.
people will just sneak their own shit up there and just deal with that, or
Oh.
don't even go. Just
that
stay
doesn't
back at their
happen. No
van.
one sneaks into it.
No, never.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you just stay at your van and just drink your
That's
own
right.
shit. Yeah. When it's the right price, people go up there and
Well, they
support it.
know they're supporting the event, right? You know you're supporting the event, but people are going, well, you're sort of taking the piss.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
people just go, oh, well, you want to overcharge? I'm just going to drink my own.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Because there's nothing stopping you drinking your own in the caravan.
That's
Yeah.
what people would just do but when it's reasonably priced, that's what you just go. Yeah, right.
That's right.
It's only a few hours.
Send some more money through the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it was good rolling in there Friday. Walked in to set up the van. Reese handed me a schooner. Oh, we're on.
He had his race transporter down there, didn't he?
Yeah,
was
that's
all
what they
set up?
slept in.
Yep.
Yeah,
He had his bed from the house in it.
Love it.
like an actual bed, the whole frame,
The
not
whole
just the
frame.
mattress, the whole bed frame and everything.
That's so good.
It's got a split system air conditioner on it, so
Oh, that's mad.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, we had a pretty good little setup.
I tried to get in
Yeah.
there all weekend, but there was always someone hanging around. I wanted to go in a short sheet the bed.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I was eyeing it off all weekend, and I was going to hit someone up to come in, but there was never a time when Reese or Amanda weren't around the van and
Yeah,
I
right.
was, so there was not a chance.
Fuck, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that was my first thought when he said I've got the whole bed in there. I was like, short sheet that fucker. But it's a shame I didn't get to.
Spewing.
No. I got a bit wild on Friday night, like first night fever.
That
Yeah,
always
far
happens,
out.
yeah.
There's wrestling going on, carrying on.
I saw. Was that your brother
That's his
and
littlest
Al
brother, yeah.
racing, wrestling for
Wrestling
a
for
bloody
the
high
shirt.
speed shirt?
Yeah. Yeah, James had it and wanted it.
I drank nearly a carton of JD just on Friday night.
Holy shit!
I'm like,
Yeah, we tipped him. in.
it would have been maybe 3 in the Arvo or something like that by the time I got there and set me shit up and had one. I mean, I think the missus maybe had, I don't know, 3 or something out of the carton. And I only had 4 left the next morning. And I was like, shit. And she had to go to work, so I rang her and said, you better bring another carton back.
We polished off the keg by, I think it was about 2 o'clock Saturday.
Really?
There's
Holy
only
shit.
4 of us drinking it.
Far out. So realistically, it's a 2 keg weekend.
Yeah, we weren't really confident on doing 2 kegs, so we just had cans the rest of the time. And plus, we went to Paradise for more
Yeah.
schooners
Yeah, supported paradise.
We need
for
to
6 hours.
we need some more activities to do during the day to try and keep
Yeah.
us off the piss.
We sort of run out of everything on Saturday. So we did our rockets.
Did
Yeah.
you
I
get
didn't-
many good videos of it?
Oh, I got a few, but it's hard to film
It's
a
hard to
rocket.
follow.
But
It's
I'll
hard
try,
because
I'll do
they're fucking quick.
I'll try and do a bit of a video, collage thing.
I think Dylan wins the
everything.
rocket game.
Yeah, because he's three-stager.
Dylan's is the best.
Yeah.
And
Just
it's still
goes,
going, and
goes.
it keeps going.
Yeah.
Every time.
I think mine lasted once. I mean,
Oh,
I
so-
straightened it.
So Dylan's one went up, and then the parachute worked, and it come back down again.
His goes that high, it doesn't have a parachute. It has streamers, so it comes back down relatively fast.
yeah.
Because if it had a parachute, it'd be
It'd
like it'd
disappear.
be in Melbourne.
It has 3 goes going up.
Yeah, it packs 3 engines in each flight.
so he's got it set up.
Yeah.
Set up good.
Well, and he didn't even have the right engines for it.
Yeah.
He had.
That's all we could buy.
Yeah, he had what he could get, which didn't fire it up as high as it could go. It can go up, like if he's got all the right engines and everything, it'll go nearly 700 meters into the sky. That's a long way.
You wouldn't be able to follow it.
Oh, he'd be getting phone calls from Russia. I've just spotted something on the radar. Is that your rocket?
No tracking on that big fella.
Yeah. And then, well, mine ended up, because they talked me out of, I had my parachute set up and they talked me out of it straight away. No, fuck it off. You don't need the parachute. And it's too windy or something. I was like, right, I'll cut that off and glue the nose cone on.
Well, I talked you into gluing the nose cone on because I thought it would keep going up. So the engines they had weren't the right engines. They didn't have a delay on them. So normally you have a delay, so your rocket fires off, and then when it runs out of thrust, it just coasts for a little bit before the last little bit of the engine pops the nose cone off and sends the parachute out. So it slows down and does all that, and then it pops the nose cone off. Well, because they didn't have the delayed engines, they were firing off and like sailing into the sky like mad speed. And then all of a sudden they just go bang and just snap the nose cone off and then just slow right up. So I said to Joel, if you just glue your fucking nose cone on, the delay, like the no delay, won't pop the nose cone off, and it'll just keep going. It'll just come back to the earth pretty fast, like because your parachute don't work. Yeah. Anyway, because his brother's one, James' one, it was never popping the nose cone off.
Yeah, did it burn the parachute on one of them?
One of them it did, but the other one it never popped the nose cone off. And when it come back, like it kept going after it finished. And I was like, that's the go. But when it come down, it'd sort of float sort of sideways.
Yeah, righto.
So I told Joel, I said, just fucking glue your nose cone on. Anyway, Joel's didn't float down sideways.
She come back down point first.
Joel's turned around and just went
Sailed into the ground.
3 inches into Dargle turf.
That was a Z shape.
Yeah, bent like
Z shape when I went and got it, and I had to peel it out of the ground. It was in there about 2 inches.
Bugger. Was it repairable?
Oh, I sort of straightened it out, and it sort of didn't fly straight. But
I was
then
never happy after that.
I had 3 goes. I should have had 6, but I only had 3. So the second one, it sort of didn't fly real well. I was like, oh, she'll be right. We'll just aim it. It'll be go again. And it flew perfect and ended up in the middle of the river. And we were nowhere near the river.
so it didn't fly perfect.
It just flew a long way. You watched it go, and I was like, that's in the river. Walked over there. Yeah, there it is, floated in the middle.
And they're only cardboard as well, aren't
Yeah.
they? They would have been stuffed.
Yeah,
know,
well,
can
you
go
would
and get it.
never
No.
going to get it.
They're pretty. Like I couldn't get a rocket because I went to a couple of hobby shops around here, and they all said, "Oh no, sorry, we're not selling rockets no more because they can't sell the engines. They can't get them delivered and whatever else." And they thought, well, if I can't sell engines, there's no point
No.
selling the actual body. So I never got one, but I got a couple of videos that tell me how to make rocket engines.
Copy that.
So I went to the supermarket and to Bunnings and bought a few odds and ends.
Select items.
Got all the ingredients. Decided I'll make my own rocket, and I didn't follow the measurements to a T because I was trying to make the biggest baddest fucker I could make, and it didn't work, but there's potential there. So I didn't. The main thing was I think I didn't mix the fuel up correctly because you're meant to use a blender and have it like a powder form and like really shake it all together so it's really homogeneous. But I didn't have anything to do that with at Dargle, so I didn't get to do that. But I packed the rocket and I jammed a starter in there and I hit it with the battery and it fizzed and melted a little bit, but that was all it did. Anyway, after the rest of the weekend, everyone thought I'd pretty much made a bomb and everyone was scared to fucking walk near it.
Yeah, no one was close.
Anyway, by the end of the weekend, I got enough courage that I had all the rocket fuel in a little Alpha barbecue tray.
Mhm.
I got enough confidence to set that on fire to see what it'd do. and it took a little bit of heat to get it going. So
Yeah.
that was probably the main issue that I had. And when it got going, it took off. Like it went and burnt all the shit. But because it had no little hole to escape, it was just going in,
Just going
all
everywhere.
out. It wasn't super fast, but it must have created some heat because the little Alpha tray I had it in, it melted the fucking thing like instantly. And to that point, that Brennan started sort of stomping on it to put it out because we wanted to try and keep some to put in the fire.
Yep.
So he stomped it out. We couldn't really stomp it out; it just wouldn't go out. So he ended up stomping it enough, and there was still a bit of alfoil left. So I just threw that alfoil in the fire, and the fire took a little while to melt that alfoil, and the rocket fuel did it like instantly. So
she's hot.
You can tell there's some heat.
So I was on the right track. I just think the fuel wasn't mixed that well. So I'll have a little play and have another go,
Yeah.
and then we'll shoot another rocket.
All the rockets were over by 11.
Yeah, probably. There was how many rockets were there? Was about 4 or 5,
4, 6,
6 rockets.
5 rockets.
Yeah,
And then we
they all ended up pretty much fucked except for Dills.
Yeah. Did we get them back out later?
The next day, I think.
It's the next day, was it?
Yeah, next day got them out because there was obviously
In the
heaps of
morning.
spare
There was heaps of
engines.
spare engines.
Because I think these all bought like about 6 goes
Yeah.
each to shoot them, and obviously Giles went the river after 3, so he threw 3 spare engines.
James added heaps because he bought 2 rockets, and so he bought 12 engines.
Yeah, and they damaged all the rockets, and then went But the next day,
Started taping them.
then they started taping extra rockets to the outsides. And
Engines to the outside of the rocket. And we're trying to wire up the starters. And
whatever we could do to blow shit
that
up.
took a while.
That's
Yeah.
a good thing about being in a big paddock like that. You can just go and cause mayhem and it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heaps of water around, heaps of green grass. It's not going to do anything.
We had Braden come down for the night or the day on Saturday, and he bought these little, I don't know what you call them, little
Well, he bought
like
he
a
bought
go-kart, but
yeah. It's
different.
like it's an off road like drifter cart thing, like a little buggy with no roll cage. It's just got a
Good
little
little 6 horsepower on the back or something.
yeah, something like that, little Briggs and Stratton thing. Yeah, we betted some horse racing. So after
that's right. That's what
after
we
the
did too, yeah.
Rockets, we were like, oh, what the fuck do we do now? Because Braden wasn't there yet, I don't think.
No, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, because he had to work or something in the morning, Saturday morning.
yeah. So we were done before the first race.
So we started betting on
Horses.
horse races.
Just between there's 10 of us, $5 each. Pick your coins. Same as what we do when we're
Yeah,
not racing.
Yeah.
We all get a horse in the
We all
race,
get a
and
horse.
the winner takes all the money.
Doesn't matter if your horse, whoever wins out of everyone. So
Yeah,
the horse
you don't
doesn't
have-
have to win.
Yeah, horse doesn't actually have to win the race. If you just finish in front of everyone else, you get the money.
That's the win, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did that all day, until the last race at where were we? Ramwick.
Yeah, we're at Randwick.
Yeah.
When was this Sunday half?
Saturday after.
Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
I was stoked because I won the very first horse race, so I got everyone's cash. So I had cash to lose every other race,
Yeah.
which is lucky because I didn't win again.
I didn't win one.
So Joel just dished out money. I finished up square, I think. So I won $40 on the first go, and then
Yeah,
and then I didn't win another one.
40. Yeah.
then I didn't win another one. So I just give all that 40 to other.
Dispersed.
Did anyone win 2?
Yeah, I think your old man did.
Oh yeah,
Brennan might have.
yeah.
I think there was
okay.
2 people that won 2, or 3 people that won 2.
Yeah, right. Anyway,
Yeah.
it didn't cost me any money, so that was
No.
good.
Gambling's bad. Okay.
Yeah.
During
If you have a
that,
problem, ring.
yeah. During that too, there was a couple of races that I didn't get to pick me horse because I took me dirt bike out. Then
Oh, yeah, he's
Well-
missed one. That's right.
Wormsy brung his dirt bike down, and Braden got his out there as well. We went for a ride around Dargle, which was going to be good, but it turned out shit because I got a fucking puncher like 2 minutes into the ride, and I went, "Oh, I should be right. I'll deal with it." I kept going, trying to show the other boys the tracks through Dargle. I couldn't. The bike was fucking all over the place. So I said, "Look, I'll show you where this other track is. You can go there, and I'll head back see if I can fix this puncher." Anyway, I get back to the house. I showed them the track. I go back to the house, and I'm pumping my tyre up to find out what the fuck's going on. And I just hear this this scream over from the mountain over the other side of Dargle. "Hey, Braden, I'm going to have to go back." I was like, oh, no point fixing mine. Sounds like Andrew's is fucked too.
Stripped all the teeth off his front sprocket.
Oh, no.
But he had just been riding it on Fraser Island for fucking ages. So
Yeah, for 5 days.
Just sandblasted his
yeah,
tyre.
sand between the chain and the sprocket wouldn't have been nice for it. And then he's probably given it a caning straight up through Dargle.
Yeah.
So anyway, our dirt bike ride didn't last very long, but
I will say though, I don't know when they started doing it, but the bridge getting rebuilt at Dargle over the creek, I think that's a perfect time to do it because having that bridge out left the paddock on the other side of the bridge, like all the normal pits paddock, mate, that looked slick.
yeah,
It was going to be finished.
Yeah, but because it didn't get finished, it didn't get used, and it looked mint.
Oh, yeah, but no one was ever going to use it anyway.
yeah.
You wouldn't have been allowed up there.
Yeah, maybe. But
We
yeah, I
went-
saw it.
When we went in with the buggies, we went up there on that flat track.
Oh yeah, yeah. After we come back from the bikes, we were like, oh, let's get the buggies out.
Yeah, well, the only bit that I got to see with the buggies was when I turned up and Joel stacked it, and then like I didn't see Joel stack it. I was literally driving up when everyone was laughing about it, and then Braden, everyone was trying to get it started. The last bit was Andrew Wormsley was trying to fire it up, like pull starting it. It wasn't going, and then Braden was going, piss off, get out of the way. I'll fire it up. He's got the rope and pulled it as hard as he could. Good pull, like it was turning the motor over. Andrew Wormsley was right behind him, smashed him. There's beer everywhere, and Andrew's on the ground. Braden fires it up, and he jumps in the bike. The thing's tracking half down to the shed, and before he actually got into the seat.
I didn't really know anything about him. I just looked at him, and then me and Brandon were the first ones to jump on him, and then other people were starting us up and shit. And I said to Brandon when we both started idling off, I said, "Let's go down to the grass track." And he goes, "Yeah." But then he turned to go towards the bridge, and I was like, "Where the fuck are you going?" And I just turned and went out the gate to the road.
Yeah, you knew where to go. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "Why don't you fucking follow me?" Anyway, I just kept chugging along down there, so I've missed all Joel's crashing everything. I got down there, and then when I got to the gate on the other side of the bridge to come back in, I didn't know how to turn the go-kart off.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, well,
Has
shit,
it got a
right."
clutch?
Well, that's what
No.
I thought. I
No.
thought it'll have a clutch, so I just got off and it kept fucking going. I was like, "Shit!" So I'm there trying to unhook the gate by holding the go-kart back, and then when I flung the gate open, I let it go through, and I was like, "What am I going to do here?" And so I just nosed it up against one of the star pickets
Yeah.
on the fence and just let the wheels keep turning over while I shut the gate back up. And I hadn't really given it a bootful yet, but now that I got into that paddock, I've lined myself up to go down that sort of road, and I've just hopped in, went, "Yep, I'm good," and just squeezed the throttle straight on. And it just bounced and darted me straight towards the creek. And I went, "Holy fuck, don't do that."
They were loose as shit.
So then I just idled my way into the grass track area. And then I got into it and I'm banging around the track going, "Oh, yeah, this is fucking sick." It's because they got no suspension and shit either.
It's solid.
Oh, yeah. And they're just bouncing you out of the seat and fucking whatever else. And then I got to a little bit of one of the corners had a bit of mud on it. So I got to that mud and it started sort of spraying me. And I was like, "Shit." So I got off the throttle and I just sort of got through the mud all right, and then got back into it for a bit more dry, and then it got to another corner of mud, and I thought, "Oh, fuck it, I'm already dirty." So I just held my foot flat and just chewed the mud, throwing mud rooster tails and shit up. Did a full lap on my own, and then I went to get off, and I still didn't know how to stop the thing. And I'm off it, and I'm looking at the engine, looking for a cutout or something like that. And I just went, I don't know. So I just choked it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It had a button on the steering wheel, but I was like, I don't know, if I shut the choke, it'll stall. So I shut the choke and it stalled. And then I walked back and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, come over here. Get onto the track."
Yeah.
Because I thought they must have been fucking around. I didn't know Joel had written the thing off.
I hadn't written it off.
Anyway,
That badly.
I broke the brake lever. Doesn't
Yeah,
work
so-
anyway.
yeah. Braden and I getting in it and bringing it round to the track. And so I went and done on the gate for him. And then me and him fanged around the track for a couple of laps on our own. And then we pulled up and started giving everyone else a go. And fucking, they were like, "This is fucking sick," and loved it. So we decided we were going to do, well, in the meantime, because there was only the two of them, the one that
You popped
Joel
a tyre.
the one that Joel ruined at the start, everyone else ruined it jumping on it there, and it had no tyres left, and
That's
rolled off the
that's
bead and
why I
shit, couldn't
crashed it.
pump it up.
Because
So Brennan's jumped on it and goes,
No, you crashed it because you grabbed hold of fucking throttle.
No, I didn't have any throttle.
It doesn't just steer.
No, because there was no tyre on the ground.
Yes,
So the
sir.
back tyre, I had to be front tire was sitting on like that. So I was sitting back left up.
There's still one tyre on the ground.
And then it just had no steering right. And it just kept going. And I thought James stitched me up.
You-
Because he
there's-
started me.
There's no
And I had
way.
heaps of throttle. I was like, oh, this is cunts have done something to me.
There's no way.
Beer
you
in hand.
There's no way you end up with a bruise like that on your fucking leg from idling the go-kart into a pole.
Yeah.
No. Fuck. Well, fuck, you got a weak-ass body.
Well, I broke the brake lever. That's what the brake lever did.
Yeah.
Snap the brake lever off.
If it's idling, it doesn't even do anything.
Yeah, I had no fucking throttle, no nothing.
Anyway, we wrote that one off and it was no longer. So then we started doing time trials in one go-kart. Braden went first and said his time, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'll go next. I'll fucking get this one. And I was slower.
You got stuck? Did you get stuck?
Oh, yeah. You know, only in the mud, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not stuck, but just
No, it wasn't
slowed up a fair
stuck.
bit,
Yeah. It was only a couple of, I think it was 3 seconds or something. It was nearly a 3 minute lap. It was like two something,
Yeah, I think
decent
it's
2
sized
point
track
something
then.
minutes. Yeah. But they're not very fast carts,
Yeah.
but
They feel fast.
they were perfectly powered for that track. How bumpy and shit it was. Anyway, I was 3 seconds behind Braden, and I was like, oh yeah, righto. So then Brendan jumps in. Brendan gets fucking 2 corners in. He's got it on its roof. We go, no, he's fucked it. So then he
It
flips.
didn't have a roll bar, did it?
Nah. So he's flipped it back up the
Fucking
right.
hell.
Flipped it back up the right way and gone to pull start and it just pumps out white smoke.
Oh,
And he's like, oh fucking
filled
hell.
it full of oil.
So he's done that a couple of times and there's all these puffs of smoke coming out of the paddock. Someone probably thought it was fucking on fire. And then eventually he got it going and finished his lap. And then
James got on.
yeah, little brother James got on.
He was
did
fucking fast.
he did the fucking same thing.
It's probably the lightest.
He was about another 3 corners in, and he did it. But
Yeah.
he was moving. He would have beat Braden's time by a fair bit.
Yeah.
But he binned it real hard.
This is the last running one, is it?
Yeah.
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 So we're all over by then.
Yeah.
So
Then that was the end of it. The tyres fucking
Rolled
Went
the tyres because they're
flat and-
tubeless.
yeah, tubeless. So they rolled off the bead and
Yeah, as soon as they
Then
roll
that-
off, they're bugging.
that was it. So then we packed them.
So you were saying you found where you can buy them.
Yeah, you can get them from Bunnings on Bunnings website. Everyone should get them, and we'll have a race meet at Dargle. They're called Flame and Drifter 2s.
I reckon I'll find one on Marketplace in a couple of weeks.
I looked for
Probably
those.
have no tyres on it or something.
I looked for those exact ones on Marketplace, and I couldn't find them. There's heaps of other little buggies and stuff on there, but everyone needs to have the same one, so we've all got the same shit. So there's
Realistically, if it
no,
turns
like, oh,
up,
your one's faster than mine.
if it turns up as a 6 horsepower, who gives a shit what it is?
Yeah,
Well,
basically.
Yeah,
Same looking thing, the same
Yeah.
engine would be right.
yeah.
It's going to be hard to get everything.
I
the
thought it was
same.
pretty cheap. It was like $1,200
Yeah.
for a brand spanking new one.
Probably just a go kart with bloody bigger tyres, something like that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of different frame to a go-kart, but similar.
Yeah, they're not totally stiff either. There is some suspension.
They're not foot throttles either, so they're hand.
Everything's on the hand, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got, was it throttle on the right, brake on the left,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
just a.
They're just like brake levers off push bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the throttle's a brake lever and the brakes are a brake lever. The brakes are useless anyway.
Yeah, they did.
They don't work. But apparently the newer ones they're better brakes. They're hydraulic and stuff, not cable.
Oh, yeah, right.
yeah. I don't know. That's what someone
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
saying. Yeah, for $1,200 you buy a brand new one. I was like, fuck, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Order it from Bunnings. They'll deliver it to your house.
Get on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they'd be only orders because people
Yeah,
like stealing.
they
from
wouldn't
Bunnings.
actually. Yeah, they wouldn't actually stock them at Bunnings.
Otherwise, we'll have one.
Yeah, I took a little a photo of the name on the thing, and then when I got home, I googled it, and the first thing that popped up was Bunnings Warehouse Drifter 2 fucking flaming go kart.
That's sick.
Yeah.
What we do after that?
And I think we
rode
just
off the go karts.
I think we just had dinner and went up to the barn.
Oh yeah,
I do have one memory of those little buggies though. I had one of those Honda Odyssey ones,
oh
2
yeah,
strokes.
yeah.
Piece of shit. But Christ, they were good fun.
Mm.
Banging up the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I need to get one.
Yeah, so
Oh.
well, these little ones they weren't totally stiff. They felt like they were totally stiff,
Yeah.
but they had some little suspension on them for the engine. So the back of it, I don't know, is like a bumblebee, like the arse of the cart
Yep.
could move. So when it was stiff, the way the engine wasn't trying to snap the back of the chassis.
Yeah.
But yeah, that you didn't feel none of that.
No, she's solid. Hard
It
to
felt
keep.
solid.
It needed better foot. Rest.
Yeah, there's no footrest. It's just like the front
Just the
bar.
front bar.
Yep.
So you're trying to dig your heels into somewhere. And
Yeah, yeah. My
hitting tyres
my
and-
quads were sore the next morning from like trying to jam
Yeah,
myself
it was
into the seat and
hard
shit.
work.
don't
Your
want-
feet would slide off mid corner and they'd go into the tyre and get chewed up in the tyre. But fuck, we were covered
Fuck,
in
we're
mud
covered
too,
in
eh?
mud, eh? When I got there, it looked like they'd done 50 laps in the mud.
Yeah, they looked worn out when I turned up.
No,
No, this Joel thinks we looked worn out because we were
Like,
covered in
Ah,
mud.
right.
They were fucking coated, and I was like, "Oh yeah, right." I'll just go around. That's fucking couldn't see.
He
There's
thought
mud
we'd done
everywhere.
fucking 200 laps.
It's
We'd only
done
done one.
I was covered in mud. When we got back, I stripped off outside the caravan and just walked
Yeah.
straight in the shower.
And we had shorts on. Or Brendan didn't. Brendan was lucky he had jeans on. But we all had shorts on. And because the go-karts are so short, your legs are like
Yeah,
this.
so you can
So your
mud up
shorts are
your
like
legs.
big holes pointing up to the sky. So all the mud's just falling down your fucking pants.
Fuck, it was
By the
everywhere.
time I didn't have a shower straight away because I was waiting on the towel to turn up because my missus wasn't there. And when I eventually got to have a shower, like the mud had gone all hard and shit on my legs, it was like crusty. By the time I went to have a shower, I got undressed in the shower and I washed sort of from my knee down because it was like just black, full mud. I was like, oh yeah, I think I've got it all. So I started sort of washing the rest of myself. And then as I'm washing like down my ass and whatever and like my hips and that, I'm thinking, fucking hell, what's that? And I'm turning around, there's fucking
still
more
mud.
mud up there. And I'm like, fucking hell, this
It's
shit's
everywhere.
gone everywhere. All in our hairs, me
Gosh.
sunnies. Because I was the only one that had sunnies, which was kind of good because it blocked all the shit from hitting the
Yeah,
face.
you're wearing goggles.
But me sunnies were coated in mud too, and I didn't clean them that night. I cleaned them the next morning, and fuck me, it took me 15 minutes to get all the mud out of all the grooves
little
and
cup.
shit everywhere.
On the edges.
Me hat got toasted with the mud.
Yeah, I washed my hat that night.
Braden stayed decked out in
Yeah,
mud till
he
about
took-
fucking 1 a.m.
Yeah, I had a shower.
Oh, on his way into the shower. Oh no, that was before he went to take a piss. He fucking headbutted the wall. You know the Dargle toilets where you
Oh,
walk
so-
in and you can go that way or that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, left and right.
Well, there's a tiny little fucking step to
Yeah.
go into it. Braden's tripped on that step and just face palmed the fucking wall. Straight. We watched it happen and I thought, fuck, he's got teeth missing for sure. So I ran over there. He's gone in to keep pissing. I said, you right or what? He goes, yeah, I'm good. I said, fucking turn around and show me because I was expecting to have
Yeah.
teeth missing.
Yeah,
He turned around and there wasn't a mark on him. He just walked back out of the toilet and looked in the mirror and pulled his fucking beanie off and went, fuck, that hurt. He was pretty pissed though.
yeah.
After that, I think he went and loaded his bike up and...
No,
Yeah.
that was already loaded.
Oh, was it? He already
Yeah.
did that.
Went up the caravan, had a shower or whatever he was doing.
He went up because he's got a van at Dargle, like up the van end. So he went up there to sleep in that. He fucking locked his keys in there, locked himself out.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
sleep- they had to sleep in the
Slept
truck.
in his truck,
Oh,
freezing
shit.
cold. Poor old Braden.
And then on Sunday we just
Much
sort
of
of
the
mucked
same
around and
shit.
then
Got
we
the
went and
Rockets back out Sunday and fucked them all up again.
yeah, and fully just there was nothing left then.
Yeah.
And then we oh no, we taped three rockets or four rockets up
Oh,
end to
yeah.
end to end. So
Just the engines, no rocket.
Similar to what Dylan's was,
Yeah.
but just hanging out of the engine, out of the rockets.
Just
didn't
duct
really-
tape.
it
Four,
didn't really
four-
work.
Four rocket engines together.
Lit
It had
up
no
and
nose
just
can or nothing.
Did fucking barrel rolls. That's just generally wasting engines.
Yeah. Brennan's one they tried to modify as well. They made a little nose cone out of a Coke can or something. Tried to get it to work, but it wasn't evenly weighted and it'd just fly off the stand and just go sideways and do loops in the fucking air and
Yeah.
crash back to the ground. And
As long as they don't drive into the ground, it's all right. But when they
as long as they don't drive into somebody.
Yeah. They do some loops pretty close to you.
Yeah. The last one of Brennan's, I think it just left the stand and went straight to the ground, just kept bouncing off the ground and
Oh,
firing around in
shit.
different directions.
I've seen fireworks do that. Eh?
Yes.
But Dylan's one kept firing off it.
Yeah,
It
it's still
was
good. I reckon
no
he'll
dramas.
probably stuff around with that, make that a bit better.
Yeah.
And then we went to Paradise for lunch.
Yeah, went round there and had lunch and
1,000 beers.
whole heap of schooners.
And yeah, back and
Well, we started going back, so
oh yeah, that's right.
because all the girls and stuff come as well, and they all sort of went home, and Reese and Simon went home because they come with other people, like in the girls' cars and whatever. So they went back, and we just thought, oh fuck it, we'll stay here. There's 5 or 6 of us left,
Six of us left. Yeah.
so we stayed there and kept drinking, and then we thought, oh, that's enough. We'll go now. We finished the shout off. We'll go back. Start driving back around River Road. Here's fucking Reese and Simon coming back in the Land Cruiser. So
Better go back.
Walmsley's backed up the F-150 on River Road, done a little U-turn and drove back and had a couple more.
I've just rang up. Yeah, we're not making that pork belly.
Yeah, that's right. We got back.
You better put that on.
Yeah, Joel's meant to go back early, just put dinner on early. And then, yeah, as soon as we got back to Paradise, he rings up and goes, yeah, we're going to have the pork belly. You're going to have to do it.
Here's what to do. There's a rub in the cupboard. Cut the skin, put heaps of salt on it, throw it in the barbecue on low. We'll be right.
And you never ended up making it back for the feed anyway, did you?
Yeah, no, we made it back.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Yeah, we only had another couple there.
It was
was
Sunday
dark.
night, so
Sunday
we were all a bit
All
fucking
pickled.
I was
dusted,
just coming good. I was pretty rough Sunday.
yeah.
Didn't even eat all my breakfast. Didn't eat all my lunch.
I cooked dinner on Saturday night, didn't even eat it. Stayed in the smoker until fucking Sunday night.
Oh, shit.
I pulled her out Sunday night. Actually, that's a lie. I did pull it out when it was sort of done. I pulled it out. It was just a bit of beef. And I pulled it out of the smoker and just pulled it all up in the tray and just went, I'm not hungry. So I just covered the tray and put it back in the smoker and just left it there till the next day.
How
And
did
then
it
heated
go?
it up again. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I loved it.
It's all right when it's 2 degrees down there.
Yeah, it's like being in the fridge outside anyways.
Oh, you turned the smoker off?
Yeah.
I thought you were saying that you'd left it, put it back in the smoker
No,
and left it
no,
on.
no.
I'm like, I would have thought it'd be stuffed.
No, I just put it back in the smoker and turn the smoker off. Yeah, and left it in there all night. And all next day. Actually, I think... Because I don't think I ate it all. So me and Mel ate it like the next night for dinner. But there was heaps there. I think we just put a little bit on a couple of wraps each. And that's all we had. So there was still heaps there. And when I heated it back up, I didn't heat it up in the smoker. I heated it up on me little
Weber.
Weber,
barbecue. And because I didn't eat it all, I'm pretty sure I just covered it. Because my barbecue was on the Tray Miuta weekend. I've just pulled the lid back down. And because on Monday morning I didn't cook breakfast, I never had to use the barbecue again. Then when I come down to pack up,
Oh,
I think I've just slid it in the back of my ute.
So it's still in there.
And then I went home, like obviously Monday lunchtime or whatever, and I've just pulled that out and put it on my back deck where it usually goes. I think it's still in there now.
Brilliant.
That's if the cat hasn't found it yet.
Well, it has been cold. So I wonder if it's still all right.
I wouldn't trust it.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. I'll put it in some pies and I'll feed it to someone else. I'll say, no, that's good shit.
It's yum. Just chuck a couple of jalapenos.
I don't know whether that's where it still is or not. I don't. I was just thinking about it today. I was thinking, what do I do with that leftover beef? And I was like, I don't remember doing anything. I reckon that's still in the barbecue.
Probably is. The best fuck up though was Reese on.
Oh yeah, that's
Saturday night.
Saturday, yeah.
So we all did well, not all. Me and Reese did a pulled lamb. So I did a shoulder and I think he did a leg. And I was cooking mine. It was going brilliant. I was checking it and whatnot. But I've got a temperature gauge on top, so I know where mine's going. And he just hadn't come back to it. And then he, I don't know, probably 2-3 hours in, maybe even 4, he comes, it's fucking not cooking. I was like, what do you mean it's not cooking? Like, mine's like 50 degrees. Like, I'm going well. I'm just wrapping it now. And he goes, oh, fuck. It didn't open the bottom vents. So it was only breathing through the top, so it was just smouldering. I was like, oh, yeah, that sucks for you. So his late dinner was shit. Ended up throwing half of it in the fire.
It was dead.
It wasn't
bad. It was cooked.
Yeah, it was cooked.
It wasn't
like
pulled.
if you was carving up the meat, it was beautiful. But he wanted it pulled, so it all fell off the bone and whatever else. And it was, I mean, that's what I said to him. There was nothing wrong with the way it was cooked. It's just that you have to cut it up to serve it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like cooking shit like, because I'm lazy and I don't like cutting up to serve it. And then anyway, they had a couple of bread rolls out of it.
Yeah,
and
and then threw it in the fire.
he picked it up because it was in like the aluminium tray. He's picked up in his transporter where he's working or whatever. And something's happened and the tray's folded or whatever. And he spilt a bit of the juice on him.
Yeah.
And he's just cracked it and gone, fuck this, and walked out of his trailer and just threw the whole fucking thing in the fire. The whole leg, all the meat still on in the bone, just fucking hoiked it in the fire.
As my mind rested for like an hour and a half or more, and it was fucking prime. And I've pulled it all in the caravan, and I've just yelled at him. I said, "Oi, come here! What do you want?
This is
How you cook." Fuck off. He's like, "Yeah, that is fucking brilliant." I was like, "I know, that's how you do
That's
it."
how he should have been.
It does take more art to cook something like Reese has, though, to make a bit of meat nice, like medium rare sort of thing that you got to carve up. then to pull something's
pull
fucking.
something. You
You pretty
didn't
much
do nothing.
can't fuck that up.
You just leave
You just
it.
cook the shit out of it so it all falls apart, and then away you go.
It's pretty easy. Just
The
probe it.
only real trick is you got to catch some of the fat out of the meat. You can't just you got to have it in like a tray
Yeah.
or wrap it or do
Yeah.
something like that. Because if all the fat just runs out, well then it's dry as fuck.
Yeah, it's dead. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's really the only thing you need to do. You cook the shit out of it.
I had it in the tray because I didn't want to transport it into the tray. And then once I was going to wrap it, I put 200 mils of stock in it.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was going to put red wine in it, but never ended up with red wine. So
yeah.
that's what it is.
I think that didn't help Reese either. I think he put way too much stock in from the
Yeah.
start, and then as he was wrapping it up, Laurie Canduso comes over with his
Oh, that's right. Put musket in there.
gallon of brown musket. He goes,
Ah,
put some brown in there, and they went, oh yeah, that's sick. So they tipped some brown musket in there as well. So I've done that before, like had a lamb in a tray and done it in the barbecue. And if you put too much liquid in there, it takes too long for that liquid to get hot and start cooking it. And I've
So
done
you
that
got
before,
some-
an undercooked one.
you got to cook liquid off.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, in all, Doug was a good weekend without some boat racing.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
always is just
they
that
plan
racing wears us out faster.
they plan on running it at the end of August. I think it's like the
30th and
last
31st. Yeah.
yeah last
If it
weekend
gets
of
accepted,
the
but yeah.
racing season. So if that gets accepted,
It should
It
be a
should
good,
be
good
awesome.
test session for everyone going to Windsor.
If I can go to St George, I'll definitely be on Dargle.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, you might as well. You're buying a licence. So.
I've already paid the licence at Windsor. Haven't raced since.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's been shit year.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Oh, we'll get into the had a post in the HSG pit crew from Tom Bullen.
Tom Butlin,
Fuck, I can't read for shit. We need to change that print.
too many beers.
I did see that post.
And,
That was pretty cool. After us talking about the
the
rotaries.
Stinger ski boat had a 13B rotary in it in the 90s.
I had two.
Twin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twin 13Bs.
Yeah.
So in his post that he sent us, there was a few photos of it. Cracking looking engine.
Yeah,
eh?
yeah.
Yeah, it looked tidy for 90s.
Oh yeah, yeah. Polished housing and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It looked like a mint bit of gear.
Yeah. So it's been done.
I'd love to get some videos of that and have a listen because that'd be sick.
Yeah.
If that's doing it on that, the photo he posted up, I don't think it didn't look like it had ski ropes hanging out the back,
Oh, yeah. I didn't pay that much attention.
but that just might have been a test day. But if it pulls skis out, it's going to do all right to pull like a boat out of the water for acceleration.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a fair few of those Stinger boats. I don't know whether there was back then or not, but I know, like lately, there's been
I thought there was only one
A heap
originally
of 'em.
painted like that.
there may well have been, but now I think they own three, and they're all the same. So I
Oh,
don't know whether they all have different engines or
Yeah, okay.
I think one might be an outboard. I'm not 100%
Yeah,
sure.
they
but,
probably would have an outboard one for training.
but yeah, maybe they might have did a similar thing back then. Maybe they had two boats, and this one was like a test one or something.
Yeah, right.
It's a fair bit of effort to go to for a test one though.
Oh, 100% it is.
But it did look sick, little ram tubes hanging off it, and
Yeah. Yeah, it looked fucking nice. Like for something that was... Nothing was real crash hot flash in the 90s.
yeah,
Like racing wise anyway.
yeah, yeah. And tiny little packages.
Yeah. No weight in them, no nothing.
Two of them in there. I wonder why they did two. One not enough.
Just a twin like that. It's still a pretty common thing though. Like the
But they were-
twin rotary. Like I think it's a like a what do they call it? Quad rotor.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think a 13B is a quad rotor. So I honestly
Yeah,
do
right.
not know what I'm talking about, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm wondering whether it's sort of around about the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because they were connected, but connected in line.
Yeah.
So one was bolted to the front of the other one.
Yeah, no. So if anyone's got some videos of it running, can you post it on? I still can't find any videos of it. So if you guys can find them, send them in, and we'll play it on the show. Because, mate, I'd love the sound of them.
Yeah.
Maybe someone from the Stinger team listens.
Yeah, so hopefully someone's out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, anyways, we might wrap it up for this week.
Uh,
So send us in your questions. We haven't got any again. Your voice recording to the High Speed Garage Podcast at gmail.com. And or Messenger. The High Speed Garage Messenger. Either. Email's a bit better, but yeah. And don't forget to find us on the socials. On Instagram, Facebook, and whatnot. And yeah. We'll see you next week.
Rightio.
Cheers.
See yous.
Bye.